Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk some on corruption and negotiating. I tell you, there's a line between them, and I'm going to try to give examples, and I want to talk about all the different kinds. And one thing you have to remember on all these examples I'm going to give you, the one difference that separates them, and that is morals. And some of them, your morals are being pushed. So but anyway, well, I know no particular order. I'm just going to try to talk about them, and some of them I've mentioned before, but I've never put them all together. It's when I mentioned them, it was just I just mentioned it on the side of something. This is going to be all different kinds. And the funny thing is, I say a lot of it I'm talking about is down here. And like I say, down here it's more obvious. Down here, a lot of the stuff, in other words, when someone from organized crime of some type, when they approach you and they offer you money, it's a given that you accept the money, or you more than likely you will be killed. If not, some of your family members will be kidnapped and killed. Like I say, I was into counter kidnapping. I started down here in the 80s. So, and I was teaching people how not to be kidnapped. And then the other part was trying to teach people how to stay safe. And so I know when you see my stuff talking about safe, you know, you're thinking, man, you're kind of extreme on this stuff. And the reason is I'm talking extreme situations. And that's why some of my stuff might seem like, no pun intended, but it might seem like overkill. So when someone approaches you, look, buenos dias, and when someone approaches you, and I have the same problem when I'm traveling, there'll be someone that represents some type of organized crime, either a drug cartel or they just victimize people on the highways. And I'll see them in a convenience store, and they will offer to escort me or some kind of service. And the idea is, if you don't accept the service, if you don't pay for this service, then you're going to be victimized on down the road. Not right here in the convenience store or the gas station, but somewhere down the road. And in other words, they're working as a group, and you have to, give them money. And I say in one case, I say the drug cartel, I'm taking it for granted it is drug cartel in Mexico, and you're driving from one end of Mexico to the other. What they'll do is they'll approach you, and you have to buy their service. And right now it's been $1,000 US, and they'll give you a little card, and you put the card on your dashboard, And then when the police stop you, when anybody stops you, when they see it sitting on the dashboard, they know you've already paid, so they kind of leave you alone. So it's like protection, I guess you call it. Talking about that. Now, I don't know, in the old days, the way it used to be. Now, this back in the 70s. It was funny because it was there. I don't even know how to say it. The bureaucrats, government bureaucrats, they were organized, and what was happening is you had to pay. If you wanted to start a business, if you wanted to continue a business, you had to go through a lawyer, and the lawyer, what the lawyer did is he knew how much to pay, and so that's why if you're starting a business from scratch, and this is out of Chicago. This is out of Chicago. That's where I got this from, and this was in the 70s, and you would go to your lawyer, and well, the proper lawyer knows how much to pay, and he would call the city or state or whoever then for the building inspector, and they'll look and see if you got cracks in the walls and stuff like that, and so he'll call and make the arrangements and the time when the inspector is going to get there, and he'll tell you to pay him. How much do you think you would pay? Let's see, what do you call it? A bribe to the building inspector. It would run between $5 and $20, and they do the same thing with the electric inspector. That'd be the same thing with the gas. Make sure that the gas line isn't leaking, and just all these different inspectors, government inspectors, and the bribe would run between $5 and $20. The lawyer would call in, make the appointment for the inspector to come out when you're starting this business. Okay, now I was shocked that it was so cheap, and the reason is these inspectors will inspect between 10 and maybe 20 businesses per day. So that's why, they would make money on this. I mean, they get their pay plus they make this bribe. And then if you didn't pay the bribe, they would find stuff wrong with your business, and it's going to cost you hundreds and thousands of dollars to fix it. So it was a lot easier just to pay them the $5 to $20. And now that's why I don't like paying cash bribes, because I don't know how much. See, I don't even do business with lawyers. Now down here, I got put in a situation where I got to use lawyers, and that's what happens. Normally, when you're using a lawyer, you don't have a choice, like I am in this kind of situation, or you get greedy, and you say, well, maybe who's liable for this? You don't want to take personal responsibility. Somebody else's fault. You stepped in that hole. So now we got to find out, get a lawyer to sue somebody. So, in other words, you're doing it for the money, and that's the same thing that the lawyer's doing, for the money. So now. We've gone. It's kind of like a divorce. A divorce is the same thing. Once you decide to take a divorce, or once you trip over, like see these cracks on the floor, on the ground, you trip on one of these. Well, now you want somebody else's responsibility. It's not your own stupidity. It's somebody else's. And so now we've changed from an accident happening to it's a business type situation now, because now I want money. Somebody's paying for my whatever I did to myself. Somebody's going to pay for it, because I don't want to pay for it because I'm too stupid. So that's why I need to get somebody else to take the responsibility. And it's the same thing with a marriage or when a divorce. Once you get a divorce, now it's changed from you're separated from a marriage to a business agreement. Okay, now it's, how much am I going to have to pay you, and what am I going to have to give you, and see, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have nothing to do with the marriage. It's a business. We're negotiating a business agreement. So that's why I don't like getting involved in any of this stuff, because now we put a price tag on it. We made a business deal on it. So that's why I don't like to use money when it comes to bribing. I mentioned that I had a nightclub, and in this nightclub, it was a small community, small county, and I think we only had 2 judges, maybe even 1. And now the judge would come to our nightclub, and what we did, I didn't do it, and I didn't even think about it. You got to remember, I'm in the force business. I mean, I force things to happen. When I was younger, I was in intimidation. That's all I did is intimidated people because I used force. And but my wife, she used kindness, and she would be real nice with the judge and make sure you had the right drink and stuff like that. And she did the same thing with a lot of people, especially people that own businesses, people that had some kind of a say-so. Real say-so. And we had retired politicians and stuff like that would come in. And my wife knew how to, one thing, she remembered everything about them. So she would remember the name of their wife, she'd remember how many kids they had, and when they did come in with their wife, then she would be ask them how's the kids, and are they doing good in college, and stuff like this. And so she was real impressionable, and that stuck in the minds of the people. And now it's not like we wanted anything from them, but it was just the idea it's good to have friends in high places. And even though they're retired or something like that, they know people. So this is where I learned being the nice part. Like I say, my wife was the nice one among us. We were opposites. And so she helped me learn and understand how that worked. And that's why you see me now when I go to these social parties, these dinner parties and stuff like that. And I say, even though I can't speak the language, I do things that make people laugh. And I say, the ones that can understand me, I tell stories, it makes them laugh. And the ones that don't understand me, that's when the magic light comes out, or my eyeball falls out, or something like that, in which bammo gets their attention, and we're able to make a connection. So bribing and see, now is that now to me that's moral. You're being nice. That's all you're doing is being nice. Now, when something happens, these people will be nice in return. That's the way I see it, and that's what I talk about: strong individuals coming together for a common goal. That's what I'm talking about. We work together on all this stuff. But anyway, this is just one. I want to make some more on this, but this is mine. NoStressMike.com.